Projector friends, and welcome to your reading for the week of November 4th to the 10th, 2024. But know that if you are finding this at a later date, you're definitely still in the right place. As with all readings, take what serves you well and release the things that don't. One of the most reassuring things about being human is that we have free will choice. So no matter what messages Spirit has for us this week, we always have the power to change them. All right, so I don't know about you, but I felt a lot of heavy and dense energy last week. And so I am turning this week to the lighter side. We'll start with an Oracle of the Fairies card, then followed by a Work Your Light Oracle card, followed by Past, Present, Future with our friends from the Tarot. Okay, let's get going. All right, what guidance do the fairies have this week for our projector friends? And it is purity. My goodness. Always trust the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it, you will find the answer to your question. All right, projector, you are being asked to get out of your head and into your heart. Oh my gosh, I just thought about that Billy Ocean song where it says, "Get out of my head and into my car." Isn't that what it is? Anyways. I'll go look it up afterwards, but okay, get out of your head and into your heart, right? And there is a purity in there. Look, I mean, this card, we've got a unicorn. Let's not ignore this, right? We've got this beautiful little fairy. We've got a unicorn that's kind of glowing, and and she's wearing like a gown, and he's carrying, and this unicorn is carrying this like purple light, and I'm getting very much a heart energy. I know that the chakra is green, but for the heart, but it's also pink. And so it's pink is what you give out, I think. I can't remember which is which. One, pink is what you give out, green is what you take in, or vice versa. Either way, pink and green go great together, by the way. You're definitely being encouraged to look at your heart energy over your head this week. Okay, let's look at the Work Your Light Oracle. What guidance do we have here? And it is Keepers of the Earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Okay, so this is very, this card is, I'm gonna zoom, it's complicated. I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, so we have got a human ancestor up here with some wings. We've got like a flighted bird. We've got connection here. We've got cougars, it looks like. There's all these animals here. So your ancestors are vast and varied, okay? Unless you are a rainbow child, in which case your ancestors are, actually, I can't even say. Okay, but just know that you are being reminded that you are not alone, and that we are to tune into the heart for answers this week, tuning into what your ancestors are telling you through your heart. Okay, yeah. Trust the messages that you get this week that are heart-centered. That's what I'm getting. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Spirit. Okay. All right. And Billy Ocean songs. Okay, past. Ooh, okay, past is the Four of Cups. Present, the Moon. Oh, goodness. And future, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, goodness. Let's get started. So in the past, okay, so we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is such an interesting card to me because it is a card of kind of like boredom and ennui and dissatisfaction, but it's also about being in your comfort zone. So in the past, you have been in your comfort zone, but not happy with it, right? So we can all be stuck in a rut, like it happens. Everybody gets stuck in a rut sometimes. And this is definitely, it's happened to everybody, but for you, it has happened in the recent past. I'm also getting right now that it's come from your thought processes. It's come from your head. You haven't been stuck in a rut because you were dealing with your heart. You've been stuck in a rut because you've been overthinking or making too many decisions without checking in with your higher self. That's, Yeah, boom. Okay. And like the way this works here is like he's sitting under a tree and like relaxing, and he's already said no to 1, 2, 3. Now, when cups are upright, it means that they're full of something good, right? So, but these ones haven't been good enough. And so, but this is your last cup, yo. So it's like, if this isn't good enough, then you need to make some changes. But guess what? You are definitely being encouraged to make some changes. So in the past, this rut is either like just behind you, or maybe it was further in the past, but we're acknowledging that it was there, but we're ready to move on. Now in the present, the moon, woohoo, okay, the present is kind of murky right now. Okay, there might be something you're like unsure about, or there's definitely something going on subconsciously right now that is interfering with your life in some way. All right, I know that's really vague, but it's a general reading. So you're gonna have to fill in the blanks here. Okay, so but the moon is a fascinating card to me. So I am a psychologist, and it is the card of psychology. So there is something in your subconscious, right? So the lobster down here represents the subconscious, as does the moon. So what's the moon like? So there's something under, like, like we can't see, how like, okay, let's compare the sun and the moon card. So with the sun, everything is bright. It is clear. Okay. That stuff. With the moon, it's still bright, but it's unclear. Because when you think about it, at night, there's still, even if the full moon's out on a bright, beautiful day, it's still dark, right? There's still shadows. There's still things that you can't quite decipher. Shapes don't look quite, there's no sharp edges or anything like that. So there is a lot of illusion and mystery happening in your life right now. Now, the way you are being encouraged 100% to tune into your ancestors to find the answer. Okay. So the answer for whatever is going on for you right now comes from, I would strongly suggest you do some like connect with ancestor type meditations. There's tons of them on, or like however you want to meditate, or even listening to some music, right? So I tend to like push meditation because it's the thing that works for me, right? But I'm learning more and more that like that's not just for everybody. Music could be another thing. Okay, so connecting to your ancestors through music if you're not into doing a meditation, but the answers are going to come from that. Okay, it's not coming and from the heart, not the head. So we really need to projector. You really need to like move into a space of accepting and like just really getting out of your head. Really getting out of your head. Now with the moon. It's also got it's womb energy. So there's there's some mother stuff maybe going on for some of you. But there's a journey here, right? Like we've got our dog who's domesticated and the wolf who is not, but they're together howling at the moon. So something needs to come out now, right? And okay, the dog is your ego. And the wolf is your higher self, right? Because the higher self is untamed, and your ego tries to tame you all the time, right? Like it does a lot of things, right? But it basically holds you. It holds you back. Your ego holds you back from spiritual ascension. And so, but they're working together to try to figure out what's going on. But you're being told the ancestors. Okay, I'm getting that so strongly right now, so I can't stop talking about it. Anyways, all right. Next up, we have the future. Well, guess what? The inevitability of change is coming. And the Wheel of Fortune is such a great card because it really shows us that like, not only is change is inevitable, it's going to happen it happens every day. One of the things that came up in my office this week was the idea of grief. Okay. I was talking about grief with a student, and I said, it's not just the big things like somebody dying or a divorce happening or having to like move to a new country or something like that. Those all things cause grief, 100%. But here's the thing is, all changes must be grieved. I learned this when I was doing my master's degree in my grief course that I took. This is one thing that stuck with me very strongly. All changes must be grieved. Now, sometimes it's like that, right? So let's say, and sometimes it's years, right? It depends on the situation and who you are. But here's a good example. Even positive changes need to be grieved. Let's say that you have lived in a tiny apartment for the last 10 years and you have raised your kids there and it's been really, really hard. but that place is full of memories. Now, you're doing much better now, and you are moving to a house where everybody has their own bedroom. Okay, it is a positive change, and it's something that is good for your family. But you're going to have to leave the memories that, like the reminders of those memories of when your kids were little are going to stay in that old tiny apartment, right? Do you understand? And so even though something is good and better for you, you still have to grieve it. Now, you may grieve that for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 days, doesn't matter, right? But all changes have to be grieved. So whatever is going to be changing here, acknowledge that, okay? Acknowledge that even if it's a positive change, and it is going to be, like, this is very, like, as long as you make this change from the heart, right? And with some understanding of where it's coming from with right now, then it's going to be really great. Okay, I'm curious as to what area of life the change is going to happen, okay? Because I like to, the Wheel of Fortune, it's just going, the Wheel of Fortune says, sometimes life goes up, sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes sideways, sometimes it goes around. Ooh, just made up a little thing. Okay, I'll probably use that again. I'll look for it in future videos. So, right? Because nobody stays on top forever, right? Life is a cycle. And I love it. The Wheel of Fortune, actually, you've got 2 major arcana cards here. Like, this is a strong message. Like the Wheel of Fortune, it's in the middle of the major arcana, and it's in there for a reason, right? Because, like, this is going to happen regardless, but it's pushing us forward, okay? It's pushing us forward. All right, so which area of life for our projector friends, for some of them, where will this be? And it's going to be in action, okay? So the wands are always about passion and action, but there has been this need of defensiveness, okay? So it's interesting because the change has been positive, right? Like I'm still getting that, but you need to get over this need to defend yourself about this change. So maybe it's going to be quite a big change. Okay, could be quite a big change, and some people aren't going to like it. There we go. That's woo. Okay, some people aren't going to like it, but if you are doing it for your highest and best and the highest and best of the collective with advice from it's okay that other people don't like what you're doing sometimes, okay? That's really, really, really important to understand. It's okay. You're not responsible for their feelings. If you are doing all of this from your highest and best with the help, with the purity of your heart and with assistance from your ancestors, the ones that matter won't mind, and the ones that mind don't matter. I screwed that up a little bit, but you get my gist. Thank you, Dr. Seuss. Okay, that's it. That's what I've got for you this week. I hope you have got something helpful from it, and I will see you next week. Bye.